Hey guys, how are you? I hope you're enjoying all of the O2 Garage videos we've put so far. And if you are liking what you're seeing, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe and the little bell to get notifications when our new videos coming out. And this episode, well, the bug is getting really close to going back on the road, and it's all about the 1%ers, the little 1%ers that make it go from being good to truly great. One of the things that this car has, which is a little bit weird, is this sunroof at the back here. It's actually not on the front half. This front half has got a really nice hood liner in it, but at the back it has this thing which winds back. Now, if you know anything about cars, in the UK they have sunroofs like this, and they're called Webasto, and you find them in Morris Minors and Escorts and Cortinas and stuff like that. And it simply has like this hook thing that winds back like this. Somehow. Now there's nothing wrong with this sunroof. It's all pretty good nick. It just needs a little bit of a clean up. But what it does have a rip right there. You can see that on the top. And it also has a couple of little bits of metal that are sticking out, and I reckon that this thing here is supposed to go in the back, and there's a piece of the track that's supposed to sit in here. So what I have to do is open it up a little bit and get those metal tangs connected, seal up the leak and get it working again. Alright, now we can get a bit of a look at it, and what we've got is these little tangs. They have just broken off and come off from these support mechanisms that run along the slide glides on the side. So I've got to kind of straighten them up a little bit and then get them actually, by the looks of it, pot riveted back in. And there's some little plastic slides that go in which are missing, and a lot of it's sort of moving around and it's a bit so-so. So I need to get that organised. Here's that seal from the last person who did it. So we're going to have to work out a way of doing that. So all things being equal, it's not going to be all that hard to do. You just got to work through it methodically. Mate, have you ever seen one of these before?
No, not before.
Okay, this is called a pot rivet gun, okay?
Yeah.
And so what you can do is with car bodies, sometimes they're pot riveted together, or metal's pot riveted, and saves you having to screw it on or bolt it on. And what this does, this works, right? Like, there's the pot rivet.
Yeah.
Okay, can you see that? Now, if you've ever had any Star Wars figures, you used to use these as lightsabers. You put them in the hand of the Star Wars figures. That's just another story altogether. Anyway, it's got different size holes for different size pot rivets. And you slide it in like this, right? And I'll do it so the camera can see. Because it's an old school tool. Not many people actually use these anymore.
Yeah.
And as you pull it down, you watch. It grabs and pulls the thing inside. See it starting to move down?
Yeah.
And it goes up, and you got to push it back down again. And you got to go again until such time it does makes a big pop noise and it pops through. And see how it's making it bigger at the back, and it's got like a washer on the front?
Yeah.
It's normally the third one that does it. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. Right, I'll pull it back out so you can see. And so there's the difference.
Yeah.
So like if you have a hole and you put the pot rivet into it and then you pull it out, it secures both those pieces of metal together.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're going to use for the rear sunroof, the arms on the sunroof that are broken.
Yeah, that's cool.
Is that something new? Yeah. Well done, little boy. So we've got a little guide here, right, that's got a bend in it, Tom. And you normally would get out a hammer and smack it with a hammer, but I don't want to do that because it's right next to the car. So another way of straightening up metal is you can use vice grips and bits and pieces and just use it to manipulate, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can get it. Sometimes they don't need to move all that much. See the side of that? See how it's got a big wonky bit on the side? Right, that bit there is supposed to be straight. So what I've got to do is just probably bring into play the other ones I've got here and just manipulate it so it's organised. So TJ, we've got to fix up this
Rip.
rip, and what do we got there? We got a bit of material.
Yeah.
Bit of material. What do you think? Do you think we should do it on the top or underneath? What do you think?
Underneath, because the top it'll just look messy and really bad. So.
You reckon? So just go straight underneath?
Yeah.
All right. Let's work a bit of a game plan and see what we can do. All right, mate. So this is the patch that was underneath, and it was probably a pretty good idea when you look at it. Right? It's not going to come apart any more than what it is, and it's got this webbing in it. But we've got some stuff there that we can probably use just to strengthen it up. So we'll do is we'll clean it off, we'll put some glue on it, we'll get it together and see if we can seal it straight back up again. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a look at this piece of vinyl. I reckon I got this as off of an old Rover or something like that, I'm not sure. But all we need is a small piece that's quite square that can give us some good strength. So it doesn't need to be too much of rocket science regarding what we have to do here. Let's cut ourselves up a square, or a rectangle I should say. And that should be about what we're after. Okay? And that's like a newer version. And actually this is interesting. If you ever look at the way I've got the cloth, see the grain runs across?
Yeah.
So the cut will be through the middle and the grain will hold it together. So I think this is going to end up being a stronger piece of material than what was on there. So let's find some glue, let's wax some glue, let's put it on. Go. Alright, glue is on. We don't need much.
Just enough for the job.
Ooh. Stinks a bit.
Yeah, I can smell it.
You know what? Let's dump some glue through the guts. What do you reckon?
Alright. Too much glue?
No, I don't know if it's too much glue. It's just we've got to try and push it together. Do you know what I mean?
Do you want a hand?
No, because it's going to have to stay up there for a while. So I almost need some tape, don't I?
Mm.
Okay, good idea on the tape, Thomas.
Yeah.
Because that seems to be working inside really, really well.
Good. Hold it together for a couple
it's just holding the edges up so when it dries, it'll dry flat.
Yeah, take it off.
Which is pretty good. I mean, the reality of it is, when we're probably cruising around in this thing, we'll probably have that sunroof down a fair bit. So we want it to be flexible enough to be able to come down and go up. But this tape is pretty good stuff. So that will just hold it nicely. Have a geezer at that. Go inside, have a geezer at that. Go on the inside. Does that look alright?
Yeah.
I don't think this looks all that bad. We put a couple of those little silver stitches just with a bit of black tape,
Yeah.
so a bit of electrical tape.
Yeah.
But what I think we'll do is once it dries, we'll go and get some black Celastic, because Celastic sort of moves, and this is not going to move all that much, this roof. I think if we just put a small bead through there and just fill it up with black Celastic, I think it's going to help the cause, Tom. So that's the soft top done. That's another job done! There's been something that this Baja's been missing, and Tom's just gone inside, and I'm going to put it on because I reckon he's going to be pretty stoked with it. Bajas are designed to go through the sand dunes, and you know, Southern California and you know, America and so forth was where they were made. They were made for going through the sand dunes because they're nice and light and you could jack them up. And when you went through the sand dunes, you had something to let people know that they were coming over the sand dune, they could see you, which was an aerial with like a flag on it. Don't have the flag, but I do have the aerial. And I've been wanting to put this one on for a while just to balance the car a little bit out visually. And so I got one of these, which is a whip aerial, so you can sort of see she moves around and all that jazz. And what I reckon we're going to do, I reckon I'm going to chuck it in here and put it in here in a way where it kind of sits on an angle like this. And so, you know, you get that rake of the car, but you get this aerial hanging at the back, and maybe we'll get maybe we'll get a flag for it, I'm not sure, but I reckon that looks pretty cool. So let's fit that and freak try and see. And there it is, one custom whip aerial mount for a VW Baja, made here in South Australia. Okay, so I'm going to get Tom up so you can have a look at this aerial, but before I do that, I'm going to do something else to this car that's a bit of a cool old trick. And what it is, it's when you've got something like a vinyl roof or something like that, what you do is you use this stuff, dubbin, use it with a cloth, put it on, and it makes it look absolutely mint. So I'm going to quickly do that before he gets up here and totally blow his mind. Hey Tom! Alright, so I've done some stuff to the car.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you want to close your eyes and I'll bring you in?
Alright.
Alright, close your eyes, I'll hold you.
I know the way this
No, because there's things. Keep your eyes closed. I'll put you in position, alright? Keep your eyes closed. Keep your eyes closed. You're right. Keep your eyes closed. Okay, keep coming. I'm gonna put you against the wall on the other side. Keep your eyes closed. Keep your eyes closed. Turn around. Back up. Okay, stop there. All right. So we're going to see if you can work out what we've done. All right, ready? In 3, 2, 1, go.
That looks cool.
What have we done?
This has been done.
Yep.
That's cool. This has been
Cleaned?
Yeah, you can tell this
Yeah.
has been done.
Yeah. Well, you saw that being done, yeah.
In here.
Can you see?
That handlebar over there.
Yeah. I stuck the handle on and I wrapped it with the Everlast wrap.
Yeah.
It's probably about it.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think of that? Shut the door. What do you reckon about that with the aerial?
Yeah, that looks cool.
Does that look good?
Yeah. That looks cool.
You like the rake of it and all that sort of stuff, and it moves around. Yeah. It's got a pretty good sort of a mount there on the back window. We sort of just popped it on there, and it can sort of flop along as we're driving along. And I thought if we did the top, right, that would just make that look a little bit smoother through here. So all things being equal, visually, it's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
So I think what we have to do now, realistically, is just do the bodywork on it, isn't it?
Yeah, and maybe back here.
Yeah?
It's still there.
What's that?
Maybe adjust the brakes a bit more.
What? What do you mean?
Oh, there's a leak over there.
What? Where?
Down there.
What? Are you bloody joking me? Are you joking me? Oh, that's the wheel cylinder. Ah, bloody hell. That means we've got to pull the back wheels off. Well, actually, that probably explains why it was still pulling to the left-hand side then, because if that's not working and it's squirting oil out and that's not working, the other ones are, it drags it over.
Yeah.
Ah, the journey continues.
Hey, if you want my dad to stop talking,
hit like and subscribe. Yeah, good one.